I'm going to be showing you a beginner's method of how to trace images with the pen tool in Illustrator. So first, you're going to want to launch Adobe Illustrator. So you're going to go down here to the launch pad and click. And at the top, you're going to click the search bar and start typing in Illustrator, and Adobe Illustrator should pop up and you're going to click it. Now you're going to select New File. You're going to go over here to the Details panel and click Inches, make sure that's selected, make sure it's 8.5 by 11, and that there's only one artboard. Once you've done that, you can go down here to the bottom blue and click Create. Should look like this. So now we're going to get out of that and open Safari. We're going to go to click Google, and we're going to start typing in Mickey Mouse. Go to Images, and we're going to pick this one and drag him over to our desktop. Once he's there, we can X out of Safari, go back to the Illustrator document, move that over, click and drag. He should be there. Go back to full screen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to resize him. So hold Shift and drag the corner. Holding Shift, make sure that he doesn't get distorted in any way. So now I'm just going to center him a little bit. We're going to go to the Layers panel and hit this drop down. We're going to click right here to lock him into place so that he doesn't move when we're starting to outline. So now we're going to click the pen tool. Now we're just going to go around and click all the hard corners. If the fill is set to white, just go back to the selection tool, click and click no fill. And I'm just going to put the stroke to red just so you can see it. Now go back to the pen tool, and you want to make sure to click where you left off and then continue your path. So make sure it's all one path instead of two paths. All right. Now that that's done, we're going to go over here to the pen tool again, and we're going to right click and then click the anchor point tool. So now we're going to select a line and just drag them. And we're going to skip the ears for now. We're going to save that for later. Just go through the whole thing, drag. So once you drag, you can use these lines to get a more precise outline. It's really just a trial and error. You just get it till it looks right. Doesn't need to be perfect, but the closer you get it, the better it's going to look in the end. So we're also going to skip the tail for now. Go right to the shoes. All right, now that that's done, we're going to go back down to the tail. So we're going to pull this over, but as you see, it doesn't match up very well. So as we were doing before, we're going to use the lines to help us out. So we're going to drag this one in the opposite direction and then just start to pull at the lines, and it should eventually make an S shape. We're going to do the same for the other line. There we go. It's pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to go back up to the ears. We're going to drag the lines to look like this. Then we're going to go back to the pen tool, and we're going to just make an anchor point on the top just by clicking the top of each. Now we're going back to the anchor point tool, and we're just going to drag the lines like we did before. All right, now that that's done, we can see that there are 3 spaces that aren't included in Mickey, so we're going to have to extract those. So we're going to go back to the pen tool and do the same thing that we did for the outline to these 3 spaces. That, up here, this one, like that. And then also anchor point tool, same thing as before. that. All right, that looks pretty good. So now we're going to go to the selection tool and we're just going to make a box. So click and drag around all the paths. And now we're going to click the shape builder tool. And so you see the little plus sign, we're going to hold option and a minus sign should appear. And we're going to want to click in the spaces that we don't want. So there we go. So now we're going to change the color so it should be all one object. We're going to change the fill to this red. And see, since we use the shape builder tool to subtract those objects, they don't include in the fill. And then we're just going to set it to no stroke. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take away that original photo. So if we go to the layers panel and we see that the photo is right here, we're going to just click on that eyeball and the photo should disappear. And then you're just left with your work that you did. So that concludes this demonstration.